be just around 40 years old this year, which leads us nicely into our next segment. And I'm delighted to say I'm joined in studio by Collie McPhaidin. Good morning, Collie.
Good morning, Rory. It's great to be back on again. And yes, even though I'm feeling a bit old, because I know we'll get to that, but I remember standing in the Carlton Cinema, which is no longer there in Dublin, and looking at a cardboard cutout, and I was saying, is that your man from Family Ties? And there was all flames and stuff, and I remember going, oh, that looks quite cool. So I'm not only so old that I went to see Back to the Future in the cinema first time around, I'm so old that I was in the cinema a year before it came out, looking, going, oh, that looks cool.
You see, that's where I'm sort of jealous of you, because you got to see it in the cinema first time round. I didn't.
Well,
I wasn't even a light in my daddy's eye.
Yeah, well, you know, it's like we've planned this, and we'll get to this in a little while, but now you have the opportunity, Rory. But we'll get there.
Babysitter permitting.
There is that, there is that.
But well, look, we will get to that, but lots to talk about.
Yes.
This month.
And one I want to talk about straight away, actually the colours in the background here in Highland Radio really suit it.
It's the right vibe, doesn't it?
It is the biggest movie in the world. Now, the absolute number one movie all around the world is K-pop Demon Hunters. And I reckon we're divided into two groups here, right? People who have children of the right age who know all about it, and people who don't have kids like myself who know nothing about it, but they've kind of heard vague mutterings.
Talk to me about this, right? Yeah. So K-pop Demon Hunters, was it a series on Netflix, or has it always just been a movie?
To the best of my knowledge, it was always just been a movie. But here's the thing. I know they thought they were onto a good thing, but they did not know it was going to be the phenomenon it was. Now, it's
the biggest
thing they've ever done.
Yeah,
they've
it's
ever
the most
done.
streamed movie ever
absolutely.
on Netflix.
And of course, it really does bear rewatches, because you can just watch every time they sing a song, it's like a pop video, so you can just watch the pop video. In the era where MTV have gone, this is where they're rewatching the pop video on it. But the thing is, they knew it was good, but they didn't know it was going to be this, because they would have been ahead of the marketing if it was, where they've been catching up now. That's why you're seeing all the stuff for Christmas. But also, the more and more I thought about it, and I was kind of cynical about it at first, but since Buffy the Vampire Slayer, it is probably one of the greatest ideas. You go, what do kids love? K-pop. They love girl and boy bands. They love, supernatural demon hunter stuff. Yeah. Let's put them all together in a big shiny movie on streaming. Tick, tick, where should I deliver your truckload of money? And that's exactly how it worked out. And that was fine. But I just thought, I am a single man. I don't have kids, and I was kind of going, well, that's fine. It's great that the kids are watching something, but it's on streaming, so therefore I'm a cinema guy. I'm not particularly interested in, and obviously I presume I won't like it. And then the hype kept on going, and the hype kept on going. And
this has been building for months.
And Netflix do not like to put things back in cinemas after they've been out. They sometimes put movies in, like House of Dynamite, they put it in the cinema for a week in LA so they can qualify for Oscars. They don't want to share it. But the hype for a single...
Has this ever been in the cinema? Did this ever get a general release?
No.
It was
always on streaming. But now they're bringing it out for a weekend, because so many people want to do sing-along versions, and they were putting them on themselves, and Netflix said, right, fine, we'll put it on the big screen. It's so popular.
I'm just picturing all the mums and dads going, oh no.
But you see, that's where I thought so too, but this is where I was wrong. So my colleague here, Dorina, who's doing a bit of social media for us as well, she said, she's 25, she was going, it's pretty good. Sorry, 24.
Careful.
She said, this is actually quite good. And I went, well, I suppose if I'm going to talk about it, I should watch it. So I watched it the other day. Rory, it's really good. It's really good fun. So, okay, it's pure pop stuff. The really good songs like Golden sound to me like the best songs never to win the Eurovision. It's that sort of stuff.
Sort of vibe,
but it's funny. It has a really nice story about looking after each other, and how not to write people off. But I laughed 6 or 7 times. There's big Hollywood comedies I've never laughed at this much. So I reckon it's the one that the parents are sitting at home begrudgingly when they were finally made watch it, because their kids have watched it 7 times and said, Mum, you have to sit down and watch it, going, actually, that's not bad. That's a catchy tune. And it's the one that it's on a ringtone. Now, I'm thinking maybe your girl, this is not for her. Has she seen it?
No, I've heard it mentioned. Yeah. I've heard it mentioned, yeah.
I'm going to bet, of all the stuff you've been made watch over the last couple of years, and all the ones that are ahead of you now with your little fella too, I reckon this is one of the better ones, because you know a good tune when you hear it. And we're going to talk about Back to the Future and the music that is still lasting. You played there, I still know the words to those songs, because there were solid songs in the movie, and it's all part of the same package. I think it's really good. Kids love it. Look, and it's one time. The rules in the cinema, the rules in the clips are gone. Stand up and dance. It's great fun. And it's like a concert. And what's weird about it is the more segmented we get, the more it's about algorithms and everyone has their headphones on and watching their own thing.
Yeah.
Concerts have never been as big. Concerts are so popular. People want to get together and experience these things. And it's brilliant that mum and dad and babysitters and stuff have the brilliant stuff like this home streaming. But to get together and join in, you know, in Letterkenny this weekend, there was a big K-pop rave for little kids as part of the
K-pop rave.
Yes, Roisin was telling me all about it. But so there was a big event on because it's just that popular, and it's so popular you want to share it, like all the best pop music, like what we do here. Why I tune in every Saturday, Rory, at 10 o'clock from Bundoran, even though I have to listen, I have to stream because we don't get it locally. But because everyone likes communal music, it's great fun to sing together, and you know, why not?
Nothing brings people together like music. Good. Okay, so that's a very limited release.
Yeah, it's today and tomorrow only. That's it.
All right. Okay, that's K-pop Demon Hunters. Okay, we're going to talk Wicked.
Yes. Speaking of singing along, now last year I got this when we talked about the first Wicked. I went, "Oh, it'd be okay if you like musicals and stuff." And I thought, you know, it'd be more your thing, being with your theatre background. But you said, no, not musicals.
No,
you're more plays.
Wicked was never on my radar. I don't know why.
Yeah,
because we love Wizard of Oz in our house.
Yeah,
you know, but no, Wicked was never.
And I assumed, because I used to work a lot with American college students, and they're all drama kids, and they all love Wicked and Rent and all that sort of stuff. And I just assumed that's fine for them. I won't be into this. And I have to say, it blew me away. Not just that it was really good, but also so many people came out to see it. And I went, in the cinema we work in, I went, this is not just the musical crowd. This is people who like romantic drama, probably people who like Ariana Grande as well.
Yeah.
Got our
so
fans,
it appealed to a much more general
audience. And again, it was that thing. It's such a almost sexist cliche, but the husband being dragged along, rolling his eyes and walking out humming the tune, which is always a great sign. So this is part 2. I didn't realise the musical is like 4 hours long or whatever, right? So this is the second part, and we're going to meet the characters from The Wizard of Oz in this second part. So I actually don't know who's playing Dorothy.
This was filmed back to back. With the
and obviously there's lots of special effects, so they've been edited there, but they've kept it quite secretly and on purpose. The last one was such a surprise. I have stayed away from this one. I don't want to read about it. I don't want to find out what happens. Now, we all know, anybody who's seen The Wizard of Oz knows what happens at the start, but I have a feeling it won't be quite the way we think it is. I don't even know who's playing Dorothy. I don't want to know. I want to let this roll over me. Now, all the cinemas...
So this will tie up...
Yes.
Bring us up to
the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, right, okay.
Up to the Wizard of Oz and possibly beyond, because I know it's there.
Return to Oz?
Yeah. No, not that's too scary. The musical has been run for 12 years. I know the answer's there in Google, but I'm purposely staying away from it because I want to enjoy it first time around and get it. And I presume we have to get Somewhere Over the Rainbow, right? They have to slip it in there somewhere, you think. But I think it'll be really interesting. But one of the things all the cinemas are doing, the day before it officially releases, they're doing a Wicked double bill. That's like 5 hours. That's hardcore.
Whoa.
I know Roisin's already said she's in. Want to go and see it.
Good luck.
So good luck for that. Definitely go to the luxury lounges for that. You want to look after your bum for 5 hours of that. But it is, it's a phenomenon. And again, maybe it is because of the communal power of music that people want to see these things on the big screen. Also, I should have said, for people like us who like effects and sci-fi and that sort of stuff, it did look fantastic. And all the magic and when the flying scenes are pretty...
Any of the trailers I've seen, it does... It jumps off the screen.
Yeah, it really does.
Your thing, I can see the appeal. I can understand the appeal.
The cleverness of the way they use the colours of the Green Witch and the Pink Good Witch and all that. Yeah. It was really surprised me, and it's going to be huge. Yeah. Like last year, my boss said, "This is going to be huge, isn't it?" And I went, I don't know. I was totally wrong. Whereas this one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's going to be the biggest thing.
It's coming in off the back of the monster hit and it
has not gone away. Yeah. People are still watching Wicked, still playing the songs. It's made up.
That's in theatres when?
The 21st
of November. So
of November.
3 weeks time.
3 weeks time, and the double bill is the day before on a Thursday.
And that'll be running. That's going to run through Christmas.
We'll be talking about that December. We'll be talking about it in January. When we're talking about Roy Keane's movie, we'll be talking about that in January.
And we'll definitely revisit it. So that's Wicked for Good. That is coming to theatres in 3 weeks time. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Back after this. Don't go anywhere.
This Saturday, the 1st of November, the Highland Radio Country Music Weekend continues at the Clanry Hotel, Letterkenny. Enjoy a brilliant night of music and dancing with Jordan McPhaidin, Stacey Breen and Michael English and his band. A few Saturday night only packages remain. €249 for one night for two people, bed and breakfast plus 2 tickets, or you can pay at the door. Get there early, it's going to be a sellout. More info at clanryhotel.com or highlandradio.com.
Your new favourite tool is here, the new Screwfix app. Download today to browse, get exclusive offers, quicker collections and receive 20% off your first order. Download the app before November 2nd to receive a code for 20% off your first app order. Valid for 14 days. Purchase required. Maximum spend €500. 18 plus only. Delivery charges and restrictions may apply. For full details see screwfix.ie.
McDade's Bathroom Plumbing Tiles in Buncrana continues to be Donegal's go-to destination for stunning bathroom makeovers. With a vast selection of premium tiles and bathroom products, our showroom is your ultimate one-stop shop for crafting the perfect space. We've earned our reputation through expert advice, unbeatable prices and a dedication to customer satisfaction. Visit our showroom in Cockhill and Buncrana and see why we've been Donegal's top choice for 50 years and counting. Call us at 07493 63050.
At Charlie's in Letterkenny, they've been serving great food since 1984 to sit in and take away. Everything at Charlie's is cooked to order, so if you're having an all-day breakfast, a burger, or their renowned fish and chips, you'll know they've been freshly prepared. And there's a great selection of gluten-free options. Charlie's, in the heart of Letterkenny, open Tuesday to Saturday from 12 to 8, and for breakfast on Fridays from 9 on the Pierce Road. When the hunger hits, pull into Charlie's.
The time is 12 minutes to midday and we are talking movies, and Collie McPhaidin is in studio with me. So we've had K-pop Demon Hunters and we've talked about Wicked for Good, which is coming to theatres. But let's go back in time now.
So we had, like, you've been a good boy, Rory. You've had your K-pop and you have your Wicked. Now let's do a Rory movie. The first time we ever talked was to set up that we were going to do the show, and we did a promo. And it was based around Back to the Future.
Yes,
that was the first time. And I hadn't even met you yet. We'd only talked.
You do realise that was all just so we could get a DeLorean up there.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
so I could get behind the wheel of a DeLorean.
We should do that again.
Yeah, we
yes,
should.
Well, that's it. We'll find an excuse next year. 41's a big anniversary always, right? But yeah, Back to the Future is 40 years old. And I was thinking about this. And again, I'm going to bring in a couple of people that work in the cinema. I was talking to them, and usually I say, this anniversary, what a great movie. And they go, yeah, Grandad, I wasn't born. I haven't watched this. This is the one they have seen. Yeah. And it's still timeless. With the exception of a few jokes about Tab Cola and maybe Ronald Reagan, everything else still works.
Of course it works.
And
yeah.
of course,
I think it's as close as you can get to a perfect movie.
Yeah. So your favourite movie, Ghostbusters, is still a great movie. Yeah. But a lot of that has dated, and a lot of the some few jokes in it you go, oh, that's not great. I'd forgotten that as you're showing your kids. I don't think that's true with Back to the Future. There's a few edgy jokes, but they're edgy in 1985 as well. Yeah. And they're edgy because they're meant to be. And
what I think works, why this film is so timeless, and why it has such mass appeal, it wasn't written as a sci-fi movie. No. It wasn't written as a time travel movie. No. It was written, the idea came about with Bob Gale, the producer, who had an idea, what would it have been like to go to school with my parents? Would I have gotten along with my dad if I had known him back in high school? Yeah. And then everything else, well, how do we get back? It was supposed to be a fridge at one point. Yeah, but that was.
I didn't know that, but that is brilliant because
that's why it works.
The pure, it's the elevator pitch. Does it work straight away when you say the phrase? And it does. And there's the thing I was thinking, and it worked for the parents because all parents, you're a parent, you get that your kids, okay, think you're cool till they're about 9 or 10, and then they think you're the biggest idiot ever, and you were never cool, and they keep on explaining music to you and movies, and you go, dude, I was there. So every kid thinks their parents were uncool and weren't that sort of thing. Every parent pretends, we never did that in our day, to their kids, while going, absolutely, we did it way worse.
We wrote the book on it.
Yeah. I invented that thing that you're talking about. And that's what one of the reasons the story works. And it'll work in 40 years' time as well.
And the funny thing is, unintentional as it was, the car did become the star of the movie.
Yeah, and such a famously rubbish car.
Exactly, yeah. One of the worst cars
ever made. But I don't think I would have ever known what a DeLorean was only for that.
Yeah.
And people still
and the fact that it was built here in Ireland.
Yeah. And
in Northern Ireland.
I actually saw, I was in the toy shop recently and I saw a Lego DeLorean there. You know, it's got 40 years later, people are still doing. But it is, because it's funny, and it's also one of those. It is funny when you're 10, right? And there's lots of stuff, and it's the Marty McFly, it's the sci-fi, it's the time travel stuff, and more the jokes work all the ages through. When you're the kid, when you're the parent, when you're the Doc Brown character, which is what I am now officially. I'm the footy old guy going, great Scott, we've got to get back. I never thought I'd turn into him, but I am. And like it's just brilliant. And again, so many people haven't seen it in the big screen. Now, it's one of those that has probably come back to cinemas a few more times, but it's another chance to get it again. And like the fact that Michael J. Fox and, Christopher Lloyd doesn't talk much these days about many things. He's a very shy man, but he loves still to talk about this. They're still all so proud of what they did.
There's a love there for it. Yeah.
And you can see it. They've never got tired of it. They've never got bored of it. They never go, oh, I want to talk about my new project. They're going, great, you love that movie, so do I.
And the reason being because it was focused on the characters, it was focused on the story. It wasn't focused on the special effects. No. They were used as a vehicle to tell the story, but this works. And, like my 11-year-old now, she loves it, and she's been watching it during COVID. Yeah, when they brought back all the classics to the cinemas because nothing was being released. We watched the first two at home, and we went to the cinema to see the third one. And the look on her face, it's just brilliant. And it's not just great because so much stuff you do play back and they go, yeah, it's all right, Dad, but this is still magic. So you can see we're as enthusiastic about it as we were first time we saw it. And you know what? Let's hope we're both here for we're doing Back to the Future 50th, and we'll be saying exactly the same thing because it'll be true. It's in cinemas. Is this how long is it in cinemas
for? It'll be in for at least a week. Probably only this week because it was midterm and the week. Probably if people go and see it, it'll come next week. But I'd say that it's a limited time only. So get to see it this weekend if you can. Okay,
so that's Back to the Future 40th anniversary in cinemas now. All right, one for the music lovers.
Yeah,
Springsteen.
I don't know how much of a Bruce fan you are, but it was inevitable we get a Bruce movie. And what was really interesting, it's one of those, we talked a lot about this with the Bob Dylan movie, where it's not the whole story of Bruce Springsteen. It's just a story, it's one chapter of his life.
It's focused on the making of the Nebraska.
Album. Now, my sister Neve is a huge Springsteen fan, so I was familiar enough with some of the surroundings about it. I knew it wasn't popular when he went away to make, he was just about to become like the world megastar that he became. Yeah. And he went off and made this deeply personal acoustic album. I knew that story, but I didn't know how much was into it. I didn't realise he'd written Born in the USA. He'd written Cover Me, all of these hits, and they were recorded. And the record company were going, we're going to make a fortune. He goes, yeah, I'm not releasing any of that. I have to go and make this thing. And I know almost, if it was someone else, you'd almost say diva behaviour. But he was going through a breakdown at the time, and he had to go off and do this. So I was really curious to see this movie. I found it very interesting. It is quite deep and dark. If you're just going, like, it's not Bohemian Rhapsody, when you're just going for the sing-alongs and all that sort of stuff. It's much more of the acoustic music. He, guy Jeremy Allen White, people who know from The Bear particularly, he does all the songs himself, and he does a really good verse. Look, he got Bruce's stamp of approval, and Bruce wanted to tell this story. He was going, it's very important that Bruce goes, look at me, I've had a brilliant life, things are great, but things weren't always great for me too. And you always think of, like, my first memory of Bruce is around the time of Back to the Future, and it was the bandana waving, big Slane concert, all of those things. Look at this rock star, isn't life perfect for him? And I was one of those who heard Born in the USA and thought it was a song about isn't it great to be American, rather than it was all about struggle, because I thought Bruce was just a rock star. And then only because of my sister later on I learned, like, Bruce is pretty deep. Yeah. He's a lot to say about
and that's obviously what this focuses on, is the human element.
It's the human
and everything behind that.
I think fans will really like. Now, I have to say, I loved it more than my sister did. Now, she's seen Bruce maybe 40 or 50 times, and I think it's maybe she's read the book. She knows all the stories, so maybe there was nothing new to her. Yeah. But to me, I found it really interesting and really good portrayal. And best review, the first thing I did when I got into the car after watching it, I put Nebraska on and listened to it all the way home.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
That's a very good sign. All right. So that is Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere.
And it's out at the moment. Very interesting.
Yeah,
I think people will like it. And it's just slightly different flavour to all the other movies we're talking about. So we wanted to mention that.
Okay. Very good. Very good. That's where we have to leave it. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Thanks so much for joining me, Collie.
Always
We
pleasure.
will be talking to you again in November. And we're going to be talking probably Christmas releases. Yeah.
And Avatar.
Oh, God, yeah. We can't forget about Avatar, of course. Part, what, 4?
3, 4, doesn't matter.
Okay, and on that note, thanks to everyone who got in touch with the show today with requests, dedications, and the suggestions for music. I'm back this way next Saturday morning. We'll do it all over again. Hope to have your company then. Paul McDevitt is up next with the Saturday Shuffle. Katie's on her way with a news update, and I will talk to you next Saturday morning.
Hi folks, Paul McDevitt here, inviting you to join myself and Jimmy